tómalo, tómalo desde el principio.
University of Oklahoma College of Medicine's commencement for the class of 2013. I'm Dr. Dwayne Andrews, Executive Dean of the College of Medicine and Senior Vice President and Provost of the Health Sciences Center. And now will all of the hall please rise as we have the playing of our national anthem. Inspiring strains of our national anthem perhaps strike a more emotive and responsive chord at the end of this difficult week for Oklahoma and for those whose homes were destroyed and whose lives were lost in the tragic tornado that struck Shawnee and Moore, Oklahoma this weekend. And in honor of those, and in honor of the many volunteers and others who came to their rescue, may I ask that we observe a short period of silence. Thank you. Well, this is a special day for all of us, because today, 154 of the brightest people in Oklahoma are entering a most noble profession. And we are pleased that all of you here in this hall are here to join in this celebration for this year's graduating class. I would now like to introduce to you some of the university and college officers who are joining me on the stage today to participate in this ceremony. To my right and your left, Mr. Richard Dunning, Chairman of the Board of Regents of the University of Oklahoma, Dr. Jerry Clancy, President of OU Tulsa, the immediately now retired former Dean of the college's School of Community Medicine campus in Tulsa, Dr. Daniel Duffy, Associate Dean for Academic Programs at the Tulsa School of Community Medicine, Dr. Ronald Sizo, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Dr. Chris Candler, and the President of the College of Medicine Alumni Association, Dr. Donald Garrett. To my left and your right, Senior Associate Dean of the College, Dr. Robert Roswell, Associate Dean for Academic Services at the School of Community Medicine in Tulsa, Dr. Meredith Davison, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, Dr. Herman Jones, and Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education, Dr. John Zubiali. I will introduce our special speaker in a moment. Also on the stage, sitting behind the front row, are representatives from the College of Medicine's faculty and some of the guest hooders that will be involved in the ceremony today. Well, each of you that's in the graduating class knows that you did not entirely get to this point only by your own sweat and tears and hard work. There was support from family, friends, loved ones, faculty who and that support has contributed significantly to your sustaining your course and to your success. So to the spouses, family members, faculty, and friends gathered here today, I wish to say on behalf of the College of Medicine and this graduating class sitting before me, a sincere and heartfelt thank you to all of you. Thank you for your encouragement, sacrifice, and unwavering support. And we are grateful to you for your loyalty to the medical students. And at this time, having said thank you to all of you, I would like to allow the class of 2013 to recognize the individuals who have made these significant contributions and sacrifices to assist them in their journey through medical school. Class, won't you please join me in applauding all of your supporters and showing them your appreciation. Graduates of this class have undertaken their medical education during a time of significant growth and development in the College of Medicine. Let me mention only a few items. The beautiful new Stevenson Cancer Center opened, bringing a new era of cancer care and research to our center and our state. We developed and opened the amazingly well-equipped and large Clinical Skills Education and Testing Center, the envy of many schools, and it was featured on national television on CBS Sunday Morning in April. The new Children's Physicians Building opened, and the striking and amazing atrium complex, and the new Salmons Family Education Center that so many of you in the class have had conferences and other sessions in. In Tulsa, continuing rapid development of the School of Community Medicine, new buildings on the Schusterman campus, and new faculty recruited, continuing in the impressive development of that campus. Well, these are only a few of the many changes that occurred in the College of Medicine, and they're all reflections of the tremendous energy and hard work of our faculty and staff, all dedicated to providing an excellent education and training for our students and our residents, to carrying out research that will advance medical knowledge and hopefully create new treatments, and to provide outstanding leading-edge care for the patients who entrust their care to us. But just as importantly, this is a class that also knows how to work hard. They have worked hard. And just as importantly, they know how to play hard. They know how to have fun. I will not detail that for the audience. This is a class that has shared excitement, anxiety, stress, intellectual and emotional growing pains, exhaustion, relief, and elation. And because of sharing all those experiences, they are stronger and closer because of the way they shared those experiences and emotions. This is a class that answered every challenge and excelled in so many ways. A class that has demonstrated their commitment to the larger world in which they live, and a class that has developed many outstanding leaders, both for now and for the future. This is a class of extraordinary men and women that I welcome as colleagues into this marvelous, marvelous profession of medicine. And I congratulate the class of 2013 on your achievements and your success in reaching this critical milestone. And I want you to know that the entire faculty joins me in expressing to you how proud we are of you today. It's now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, requested by representatives of the class. In 1970, Tom A. Coburn graduated from Oklahoma State University with an accounting degree. He was one of the top 10 seniors in the School of Business at OSU. From 1970 to 1978, then Mr. Coburn served as manufacturing manager at the ophthalmic division of Coburn Optical Industries in Colonial Heights, Virginia. Under his leadership, the Virginia division of Coburn Optical grew from 13 employees to 350 employees and captured 35% of the U.S. market. After the family business was sold, Tom changed the course of his life by deciding that he wanted to become a physician. Again, he emerged as a leader, becoming president of his class at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine, where he graduated in 1983. He took his family practice residency training at the University of Arkansas. And Dr. Coburn returned to Muskogee, Oklahoma, where he specialized in family medicine, obstetrics, and the treatment of allergies. In 1994, feeling called to public service, he ran for public office, and he was elected by Oklahoma's 2nd Congressional District to the United States House of Representatives. He was re-elected in 1996 and 1998. And then Dr. Coburn, in a very uncharacteristic act for any member of Congress, retired from Congress in 2001, fulfilling a pledge to serve no more than 3 terms in the House of Representatives. He continued his active medical practice, and then once again felt the call of many of him to public service. He was elected to the United States Senate in November 2004. His priorities in the Senate have included reducing wasteful spending, balancing the budget, improving healthcare access, and healthcare affordability. He is a member of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence and the Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs. He also serves as ranking member of the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. Dr. Coburn has worked to make government more accountable and transparent. In 2006, he teamed up with then Senator Barack Obama to create an online database of all federal spending. In this time of widespread discussion in our country about healthcare reform, our senator has been a prominent voice in the debate. Please join me in welcoming one of our college's distinguished graduates to give this year's commencement address, Dr. and Senator Tom Coburn.
Colleagues in medicine, to the faculty, to the administration, Board of Regents, to the families, the grandparents, the children, and all of those who worked to make this possible. Congratulations to you graduates. This is the first day and a wonderful trek of the rest of your life. I hope you will forgive me because I did not want to spend any time today talking about politics. Because politics is based on core values. And what's really important for us, I think, is for us to talk about the life that's coming ahead of our new graduates. I often reflect on my time at medical school, and it is interesting that 30 years ago today, both my parents were alive, and they came to see me graduate from medical school at the University of Oklahoma. An interesting time for me is I was known as Grandpa in my med school class because I was so much older than everybody else. That's probably not as rare today as it was then, but it was certainly a significant phenomenon. The graduates have experiences that they will never forget. They have relationships that will continue. I have very dear friends that I continue to have long-term, lasting, close relationships just from going through the exercise of 4 years of rigorous study and academics. The other thing I think is so important, and I think most med school graduates can agree to it, is one of the greatest things about medical school is you get some clarity as to the insight into who you are. You start really for the first time in your life understanding that. We had the good fortune of having Dr. Michael DeBakey speak to us, who was a pioneer in lots of areas, especially in cardiovascular surgery. But I also remember the length of that speech, and I promise you, I won't be going that long. I want to make 3 key points to the graduates and hopefully to others in the audience today. But I want you to, as I talk about the 3 points, and they're very brief, I want you as graduates to ask yourself some questions, because they're going to be key, how you answer those questions in your life. What are you going to do with this investment that's been made by the state of Oklahoma, parents, and yes, some of you, by going into debt? What's to become of that? What will you do with it? Number 2, what are your goals in life? Not in medicine, but in life. What's your strategy as you approach life? Number 3, what is your definition of success? Because success and the aim towards it will determine lots of the actions that you're going to make over the next 5 to 10 years and have a tremendous impact on those people around you. And then finally, the thing I want you thinking about as we talk about these 3 areas is, will you surround yourself with family and friends that you will give permission to hold you accountable to your core values? I've seen a lot of my friends in medicine fail because they didn't have that surrounding, that accountability. So please keep in mind, as I delineate 3 principles I think you ought to think about. The first is life isn't fair. Nobody said it would be. Nobody promised that life would be fair. It's not fair that we were born in this great country or got to come to this great country. The greatest opportunity of any nation in the world. It's not fair to everybody else in the world. It's not fair that you got into medical school, but some of your closest friends didn't and won't. It's not fair that you didn't get the match that you wanted. It's not fair I had cancer 3 times. It's not fair I'm not built like LeBron James or RG3. That's not fair. Most of the time, life is not fair. And when we are stuck on the failures, and we're stuck on the fact that life isn't fair, we are failing once again. Life isn't fair, and no one made the commitment that it would be. I want to tell you a story. The country of the Republic of South Africa commissioned Jack Nicklaus to design a wonderful new golf course in the northern part of the country. And he did a wonderful job. It was beautiful. Gorgeous. Heavy investment. Beautiful lush fairways, trees. There was only one problem. This golf course was cut out of the jungle in the northern part of South Africa. And when they started it up, a certain species of ring-tailed monkey became fascinated with golf balls. And they spent the next 2 years putting up netting, bringing in higher species to try to control. They even used strobe lights to try to change the behavior of the ring-tailed monkeys. When they'd see a golf ball, they'd steal it. And they do something with it. Well, they spent 2 years and several $1 million trying to figure out a solution to it. And the solution was this. The rules, the only place on a PGA course in the world, they have this rule. You play the ball where the monkey throws it. It is a great lesson for life. Because lots is going to go wrong for our graduates. Life isn't going to be fair. But if you'll play the the ball where the monkey throws it, and not complain and not whine, you're going to be way ahead of the game. The second point I want to make with you is I think it would be a tragedy if you were just a doctor. Your goal should become a physician. And there's a tremendous difference between the two. You're going to have the degree, Doctor of Medicine today. And with that will entitle you great privileges in the future. But the benefits to society of you attaining that degree will be markedly changed if you translate and transition from a doctor to a physician. And let me speak to you about what I mean with that. Physicians are part counselors, part technicians, they're part scientists, they're part pastors. What heals dis-ease is the human touch, human caring, manifested by sacrifice in combination with the skills of science and technology. We treat disease, not just the symptoms of disease. And that transition for you will either be very quick or very slow. And lots of it is related to egoism and pride. And my advice is that you will look at the whole person, that you will see your goal is to use all the skills that you are given to take care of the whole person. A physician listens and listens intently. I can attest to the fact of the axiom, if you will listen to your patient, they will tell you what is wrong with them. Medicine today is moving us away from that model in a very dangerous and costly way. A physician sacrifices their time, their convenience, and their comfort for the benefit of those needing and yearning to be heard. They use insight, they use judgment and experience to correct and treat disease. And sometimes that includes their patients. You see, being a physician is about using your skills inside and outside of the patient arena. Finally, the biggest thing I've seen is a true physician is not afraid to ask a colleague for help. Something we need to remember. There's always going to be somebody smarter than you, better than you, quicker than you, wealthier than you, and more adroit than you. My final point is this. What you do is vitally important, but how you do it is even more important. How you treat others is a measure of your character, your dignity, and your humility. There will always be someone in every aspect of your skills and your intellect ahead of you. How you treat a scrub or a radiology tech, a nurse, a receptionist, is a reflection of your character and your acknowledgement that you will never have all the answers. People are yearning to be cared for, including your own family, which may not exist, your nuclear family today. When you are home, be completely home. Use your skills of listening intently, most of all, with your family and loved ones. Busyness will become your enemy. It will take you off point. It will take you off focus. Guard against it. You need to decide your priorities in life and have a strategy for life that keeps those priorities in focus. You also need to set boundaries for yourself. It's one of the things I think I've been successful at in life, and that's why term limits are so important to me as a U.S. Senator. Some of our colleagues, because of their position, their expertise, and their skill, don't tend to apply boundaries to themselves. The measure of a great physician is not in the number of lives saved, the diagnosis is made, the babies delivered, the drugs discovered, the procedures developed or accomplished, but rather in the unseen things that are done daily to elevate every critical life component of those with whom we live and interact. That's the measure of a great physician. Let me repeat that again. The measure of a great physician is not in the number of lives saved, the diagnoses made, the babies delivered, the drugs discovered, the procedures performed or developed, but rather in the unseen things that are done daily to elevate every critical component of those with whom we interact. A simple kindness or a thank you to a cleaning crew, opening the door for someone, going last instead of first, those will be remembered. The last procedure you did will not. Finally, alienation makes everything more difficult. Reconciliation settles, directs, and accomplishes what we need to accomplish as a team as we work to interact with people. You can heal lots of disease with your hands, your intellect, if in fact you see everyone in need of your gentleness, your grace, and your kindness. I'd like to close with a poem. I'm not a great poet. I can just barely remember I shot an arrow into the sky. But this is by Edgar Guest, and it's the following. I'd rather see a sermon than hear one day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely tell the way. The eye's a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Fine counsel is confusing, but examples always clear. And the best of all preachers are the men who live their creeds, for to see good put in action is what everybody needs. I soon can learn to do it if you'll let me see it done. I can watch your hands in action, but your tongue too fast may run. And the lecture you deliver may be very wise and true, but I'd rather get my lessons by observing what you do. For I might misunderstand you in the high advice you give, but there's no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. Edward Guest. Play the ball where the monkey throws it. Congratulations.